Well, good morning. Today is Friday, March 22nd, and as you can see, we are in the garage, as they say, the garage. It's very windy. I don't know that I'm going to get my whole 2 miles in because it's very, very windy. We got a little bit of snow yesterday, but it's pretty much melted, but there's a little bit of ice, so I have to be careful when I'm walking. I'm determined to have a small gain tomorrow. You know, isn't that sad? I'm on a weight loss program hoping for a small gain because I was so crazy, cray last weekend. And it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I'm really rethinking my weekend this weekend. I'm really rethinking it. I am going out to lunch with my girlfriend tomorrow, but when I went out with Esther Newman about a month or two ago, I chose wisely, and I had a loss the following week, and it didn't set me off for the whole weekend. That's my intention for tomorrow. I'm going to just order like I did last time. I think I had soup and a half a sandwich and an iced tea, which was filling, and that's my plan. And the evil Sandy even said, you know, the bakery's not that far from there. It's on your way home. It's just a little bit, instead of turning left, you just got to go right about 4 blocks. No, I've already told my car, I've instructed it, we are not turning right, we are turning left to go home. I'm not going there. I'm not. I'm not. I've convinced myself that I'm not going to do it. But anyway, we have a birthday today. Today's Dawn Engel's birthday. I think I'm saying it right, Engel. You know, we used to, when I was little, there was a little market, and it was called Engel's Market, and we used to go up there all the time to get our little groceries. It was like a little grocery store, you know, like not like the big major chain, just like a neighborhood grocery store. And I remember, my mother's deceased, so I can tell this story. It was embarrassing to my mother, I know, but that was back in the day when you wrote a check and you could bring it to the bank and cash it right then, and then if you had the money, you had to have the money in your account. Now you can kind of, I know it's not a good thing to say, but I guess you can float a check, which I've done many in my past. I'm ashamed to admit it, but you know, it's not something I'm proud of, but it's something I have done. When I was really struggling with my money, I found out that I could go, at the time it was Chatham's. You could write a check on Monday, but it didn't come to your bank till Thursday, and Jim got paid on Wednesday. So I floated many a check just to feed my family. Don't do that. I mean, now with debit, they take the money out right away, which gives me whole other thing that gets me all mad, because at Best Buy, you can use your debit card, which to me is cash, and go the next day, and they won't give you your money back. Although they took the money out of your account before you even walked out the door, they've taken the money out of your account. But somehow when they have to put the money back in, it takes 2 to 3 days. I don't understand that logic. So where was I going with this? Oh, so anyway, my grandmother... Yeah, because my grandfather must have been deceased. No, my grandfather had to have been alive at the time. So it was my grandparents, and my Uncle Leo had come to Detroit to visit us or whatever. And it was before my father's payday, and my father wanted to give them something to eat, and my mother wanted to give them something special. So she went up to Engel's Market and wrote a check, and came home, made the dinner. As we were sitting down to eat dinner, there was a knock on the door, and my Uncle Leo answered the door, and it was Mr. Engel, who had went to try to cash the check, and there was no money in the bank to cover the check. So my Uncle Leo paid him for the check, and because they didn't have overdraft fees in that back then, I guess they just had to pay whatever the money was owed. And then he came, sat down, ate the dinner, you know, whatever, and never said a word. And then I remember, because I was a sneaky child, I always was listening in on adult conversations. I heard him take my mother aside and tell her. My mother was mortified. She was so embarrassed, but she was so thankful that Leo didn't make a big scene, because she didn't want to be embarrassed in front of her mother and father-in-law. So, you know, obviously they were there a couple days, and so she paid Leo back, and I don't know if he took the money or wouldn't take the money, but anyway, so he would do that. He did that. He never married. He was the nicest uncle. He died very young. He had a heart attack. I would have never thought he would have, because he was the healthiest man you know, at the time. He was really, and he wasn't that old. I think he was in his 50s. So And it was funny, when my father was dying, the thing that was keeping him alive was his heart, because his heart was so strong, because everything, all of his organs were failing, but his heart kept pumping away. But anyway, back to you, Dawn. Sorry. You thought I forgot, because you know, Sandy gets off on her little tangents, and then she forgot about me. No, I didn't forget about you. Dawn gets a song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dawn. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. You know she's going to get a song. It's her birthday. You know, memory lane. I had such good childhood memories. I really do. So many. But anyway, Suzanne Brown, the other day she was at 49.6, I think she said. And she says, I only need to lose, I think it was 0.4 to get to my goal of 50 pounds, not to my goal, but to my 50-pound goal. And I said, you let me know the minute you hit that, because I'm going to announce to the world. And guess what? Suzanne hit her 50-pound goal. Not only that, she crushed it. She's 53.2. She lost 4.4 or 4.6 pounds. That brought her up to the... Congratulations, Suzanne. I knew you could do it. You knew you could do it. We all knew you could do it. So I don't know that she has a channel, though. I don't remember if she does or not. But anyway, Suzanne, congratulations. Check in the comments below. I bet you some people down here are commenting to you, telling you congratulations, because you deserve it. Today I'm going to go for my walk because it's cold. I told you that. It's very windy. I'm going to have some oatmeal for breakfast. I have my usual tuna fish sandwich for dinner. And just stay on track. I eat very late on Fridays anyhow. I don't know. I guess that's it. Another embarrassing story. This involves me, because once again, these stories I'm not proud of. It's just part of my life. It's part of what defined me, and it just gives you a clue to the fact that I'm just so poor with money. And I've told this story before too. But I wanted to get some new furniture, and I was so wanting this furniture, and I had to decide between paying the gas bill that had a shut-off notice, or putting the rest of the money down on the, because back then you had layaway. Now I could have just waited another week and put, you know, and got the furniture out the following week, but for some reason, I don't know, maybe I was having a party or something, and I wanted to have the furniture sooner. So I thought, once again, you know, you can push a check. Why can't you push a shut-off notice? You know, I float a check, float a shut-off notice. I'd never gotten a shut-off notice before. I'd always paid my bills in time, and I thought, well, you know, just because it says a certain date, I bet you they let me float it a couple days. So I ordered my furniture, you know, paid the last payment on the furniture, and the day the furniture was getting delivered, the gas company came out to shut off my gas. It was in the middle of winter. It was cold. I mean, if it was in the summer, I could have lived with it, but no, I needed my heat. I need to keep my babies warm. I need to keep me warm, you know. So the gas man comes as they're carrying in the furniture, and he says, oh, you got some new furniture. And I go, yeah, but I don't have my gas payment money. He says, well, I have to shut your gas off. And then just then my little ones came. They were really little, because I think Christy was probably, no, Christy was probably about 2, and Jimmy or Danny would have been about 6, and Jimmy would have been about 9 or 10. And so they come to the door, and he says, you bought furniture instead of paying your gas bill? And I says, I really thought I had another week to pay the bill. He said, no, you got to pay it today. And I go, but I don't have it today. I just paid the guys for my furniture. You know, they're look how nice. You want to sit down? Look how nice my furniture is. He says, well, I'll tell you what. I couldn't get into your house today. And today is Friday. I can't get here till Monday. I'll come back on Monday. But Monday you have to have it, or I am going to shut your gas off. Because, you know, technically I can shut it off outside. It just costs a little bit more to get it turned back on if I do it that way. And it is cold, and we're supposed to get snow this weekend. So I'll come back on Monday. I says, you are getting extra prayers on Sunday. Thank you so much. So then my mother lent me the money, and I paid the bill. But not something I'm proud of, but, you know, history of Sandy gives you a clue. Gives you a clue to who I am and how bad I am. And I hear you, Gina Pearson. I'm hearing you saying, oh, yes, Sandy, no. I also hear Kelly. Kelly's going, Sandy, 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 Sandy. But that's in the past. I have not had a shut-off notice since then. I learned my lesson. Learned it quick, too. I always know to pay that bill before you get a luxury item. I wanted to go on Let's Make a Deal. And behind curtain number 1 is Sandy's future. All the money in the world. I would pick curtain 2. That would be my luck. So, all right, let's go for our walk. Enough silliness. Okay, I'm home. It's quite windy. I go in the garage. When I was walking into the wind, it was even worse. But anyway, I did walk a little faster than I normally walked, or else the wind just winded me out because it was really windy. I forget who it was, but they asked me what my Jim and I, if we had a song. I'll look in the comments later on, and somewhere in this video, if I remember, I'll tell you who or she was. But Jim and I's wedding song is "Dream" by the Everly Brothers. Dream, 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 dream. It was such an appropriate song for us because that's how we lived our whole life. Oh, I dream of a new car. I dream of a healthy life. I dream that we were not so bad with money. Well, 2 out of 3. But really, back then you didn't have a disc jockey. You hired a live band, and I had a live band. And one of the songs I wanted to have as our wedding song was "Cherish," which they didn't know how to play. But if you ever read the words to "Cherish," it's about a breakup. No. So I think the "Dream" was the appropriate song. We did like the song. So that's our song. And so many of you commented about the yogurt. But you kind of made my point that you can't just eat it plain. You got to spice it up. So why do you want to have something? If I'm going to spice something up, I'm just going to have something with the points. I know they said to try the PBJ, and or the PB rather, the PB powder, and some sugar-free pudding, and frozen berries, and I mean there was lots of suggestions. But it comes back to my thinking: if you can't eat it the way it is, and you got to doctor it up, it's not worth my effort. I gave it a try. I still have the strawberry one that I'll try sometime on the weekend. I'm going to have the mindset that I'm going to like it. I'm not going to say that I don't like it. But even if I do like it, I don't know that I want to spend 4 points for something unless it's just like a fabulous, it's just like knocks my socks off. Then I will spend the 4 points. But if it's just I'm not going to spend 4 points on it. I'm going to go in, drink my water, do my readings, and get on with my day. So I'll talk to you guys at breakfast. Okay, let's eat breakfast. I know it's got it on a big plate, but it's not a lot of food, I think. So I started my day with a prayer. I drank 50 ounces of water. My quote is, "Sometimes you don't realize your own strength until you come face to face with your greatest weakness." My greatest weakness is Saturday and Sunday. 23 smart points, 4 for a half a cup of the dry oatmeal mix, 1 point for a quarter cup of 2% milk, and 0 for my egg, banana, berries, tea, and water. 5 points. I still have 18 points left for the rest of my day. Okay, I'm going to have a colorful dinner. Look at how colorful that looks. Lots of vegetables. I had 2 points for my 2 slices of the bread. 1 point for a tablespoon of Miracle Whip. 0 for my tuna fish, the celery, the tomato, the cucumber, my tea and water. My water's in the other room. 3 points for half a cup of cottage cheese, and 2 points for my sugar-free pudding. That's 8 points, so I still have 10 points left. But I'm going to be done eating after this for the day. Okay, tomorrow and Sunday, both days, I have a plan. I've already written down my menu for the weekend. I usually don't plan ahead. We know this. But I am determined. I know I'm going to have a gain tomorrow, but it's going to be a small gain. It's not going to be the 3 pounds that I gained on Tuesday. Whoa. So I've got that all behind me now. I don't have to worry about that. And I'm just going to take my gain, accept it, and not let it play with my mind. And so I set up my menu for both Saturday and Sunday. I've even figured out, I went on the app for Red Robin, and I'm going to have a grilled chicken sandwich, a half of a grilled chicken sandwich, and a cup of French onion soup. So, and I'm going to have iced tea with it. And then for dinner, I'm going to have the sausage, the chicken sausage. I do like chicken sausage. The problem I had with this particular chicken sausage that I bought, I think it was Hillshire Farms. The casing was a little hard for me to chew. So I probably ate more of the inside part of the sausage rather than the actual casing part of the sausage. But my plan is I'm going to slice it up and kind of like stir fry it in with some green and red peppers and some mushrooms and some broccoli and cauliflower. And I'll probably have a dinner roll with it. And I don't know, I think my lunch is going to fill me up pretty much. And then on Sunday, I usually have dinner with Christy, or lunch. We usually go out and get Carrie out for lunch. She's going to go out to lunch with her cousins on Sunday. So I'm going to watch Sophia rather. I'm going to watch Sophia and while she goes out to lunch. And so I'm going to have some chicken and a baked potato with some sour cream and a little bit of cheese on it and a little bit of butter. I probably will have a dinner roll. And I'll just have my usual breakfast. I'll probably only eat the 2 meals and not go crazy like I have been. So I have my weekend plan. I know what I'm going to do. Tomorrow night, I have Alyssa for a couple hours. I have Kylie too. I have Kylie for the weekend because Denise went to a quilting retreat for the weekend and Gary works. So I have Kylie for tonight and tomorrow night. And then tomorrow night, Melissa comes over when her mother takes care of 2 handicapped boys. I think they're teenagers. But Alyssa doesn't like going there because she finds it boring. So she always comes here when it's Cindy's weekend to have Alyssa. And so Alyssa called me tonight and asked if she could have her 2 friends come with her too. So I will have Alyssa, 2 girls, and Kylie. So I'm going to have 4 basic, almost teenage girls. Alyssa's going to be 12 in May. Kylie is 15. So yeah. It's going to be a house full of girls. It's going to be loud. But with my baked potato, the reason I chose the sour cream is I said this earlier, I understand all of you giving me suggestions for the Greek yogurt. I've told you all along, if I don't like something, I'm not going to eat it just because it's low on points. And if I have to doctor something up to make it enjoyable, it's not worth the effort for me. And I just know who I am, and I know I'm not going to do it. So I'm not going to doctor it up. I appreciate all the suggestions. They did sound like legitimately good suggestions. But I'm honest, and I appreciate, and I thank you so much for your suggestions, and you can keep giving me suggestions, and I will, listen to them. But somebody had said that I should put the Greek yogurt on my baked potato because it tastes almost as good as sour cream. And she kind of implied, or he kind of implied, that, like sour cream on its own doesn't taste that good unless you have it on a potato. Au contraire, I could just eat sour cream. Isn't that sad? But I could just eat sour cream. So that wasn't an incentive for me for that. But, and I know everybody talks about this PB whatever, because they talk about it at our meeting all the time too. I don't know. I don't know about. I would rather just stick with my peanut butter. And I hate to buy a jar, and I know you can get some, or container. I know you can get them small enough, but I don't know. Once again, it seems like work. You got to make your own peanut butter. Jim was just kidding me the other day. I had to churn my own butter. I said, oh yeah, like that's going to happen. But Cat on Point did a recipe for a bread, but she didn't say how many points it was. That bread looked really good, and it looked really easy to make. But she didn't say how many points it was. And I am going to try... I have to get the flour and that, but I am going to end up, once again, I'd have to get the yogurt because you got to make it with yogurt. The 2-ingredient bagel, whatever. Because I do have my everything but the bagel seasoning, and it did look very easy to make, so I'm going to try that. But other than that, I'm going to stay on plan for the weekend. I'm glad I got my walk-in when I did, because later on it got so windy and we had like a squall. Like it just looked like we're going to get like a lot of snow, but it was just like it just blew through. But I'm glad that I got my walk-in at least. And other than that, that's about it for tonight. So give this video a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and share. And I'm going to be able to report on Monday that I had I'm going to videotape over the weekend, but on Monday I'm going to be able to report to you that I had a successful weekend and that I did not go cray-cray. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.